In Argentina, there's an art form not bound by the confines of a kitchen or some elaborate culinary training. It's the ritual of the asado.
¿Y qué significa el asado para el argentino?
Prácticamente la vida. Está la familia, los amigos y el asado.
You may be thinking, that's just a barbecue. It's not. It's a celebration of simple pleasures. It's you and your tribe deepening friendships around a crackling fire. It's wine, meat, and salt. Nothing fancy. It's practically primal, and we want to be a part of it. This is the story of how we met Javier, a local Mendocino who took us up to the mountain and let us in on the art of the real Argentinian asado.
So how did this all come to be?
So over here we were looking for the tours, and of course there's a lot of tours going to the wineries, going to the mountain, having a gaucho experience for more than $300, which is a little bit far away from our budget.
So we're scrolling through Airbnb experiences. By the way, none of this is sponsored. We pretty much pay for all our own tours.
Right.
And we come across this listing, and there's no better way to describe it than to just read you the experience description. Keep in mind, this is written in all caps with so many exclamation points. We look for them by their accommodation. We travel in my truck. Enjoy the beautiful route. We taste good wines while the roast begins to cook fire slow. Next, we lunch the typical Argentine roast with salads, tasting excellent Mendocino wines, so to finish with vigilant, traditional cheese and sweet membrille dessert. We enjoy the day. Have nice chats. This guy has so much charisma, gusto, and nerve, and I love it.
Yeah, we already messaged him, and then he sent us a couple of voice notes, and yeah, it sounds like that, with the exclamation marks.
Yeah, so he's picking us up in his truck. I have no clue how this is going to go, but thank God we are getting that asado experience that we wanted to have here in Argentina.
We're ready.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Javier?
Hola.
Muy bien, ¿tú qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Hola, mucho
¿Cómo va?
gusto.
And so we climb into Javier's car. Our final destination, Midlandia. Okay, actually we're headed to the Andean foothills to a little town called Potrerillos.
And it takes all of about 35 seconds before the boys are talking football. This doesn't surprise me.
Ayer hubo como clásico. Ayer hubo un clásico, así, Independiente Rivadavia con el Cruz.
Javier decides to take us to his neighborhood because he has a photo spot he wants to show us along the way.
I'm so excited that we were able to stop over here for a few photos, because yesterday when we were doing our little adventure through the vineyards, we kept being like, man, I wish we could pull over and stop. And lucky for us, we just found the best view that we definitely wouldn't have known about before.
Y bueno, y ahora vamos a continuar nuestro recorrido rumbo a Potrerillos. Haremos alguna otra stop para hacer algunas fotos.
Perfecto.
Este otoño en Mendoza, que la verdad que nos brinda unos paisajes alucinantes. Así
Muy
que
bien.
Continuemos.
Vamos, vámonos. Javier was taking us in his car and we're going through all these tunnels, right? And he's like, you're gonna want to pull out your camera for this one. And all of a sudden we were like, damn, literally.
Yeah, literally. We were expecting to see more mountains, but right now, wow, it's like the color of this water, it's amazing. And you have to know that we are very inside of the Cordillera.
I know, it's great. And so I was out here just like taking photos from the car, and he's like, no, we're gonna pull over.
Yeah.
We're gonna have coffee here. No one else is around. You have this bright blue water. These freaking mountains back here with all this snow. Is this real life?
It is, it is. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Y acá tenemos el desayuno. Estas son las clásicas tortitas mendocinas.
Ah, no lo hemos probado.
¿No lo han probado nunca?
No.
No.
Pruébenlo.
Ok, perfecto.
Eso es un clásico. Bueno, y estos son medialunas, que eso sí lo han comido.
Sí.
Perfecto.
Acá tenemos mate si quieren tomar. No sé
Sí.
si han tomado.
Sí.
Y tenemos para tomar café y distintas variedades de té, lo que ustedes prefieran.
Okay.
Quiero probar este mate.
¿Quieres probar mate?
Sí, sí.
Bueno.
Es mi primera vez.
Es caliente.
Sí, okay.
Don't burn yourself.
Wow. Mmm. Qué rico. I feel like I'm in Argentina now, surrounded by mountains, drinking mate.
¿Están rellenas o cómo es?
No, eso es una masa. El mendocino típico desayuna un café con una tortita.
Crujiente.
After enjoying what was quite possibly the most beautiful breakfast view we've had, we pack up and Javier takes us a little further down the road to his friend's cabin. It's asado time, and we have no clue what we're getting ourselves into.
¿Y cuánto tiempo dura un asado típico?
Con la familia los domingos es a las 12, 1 se prende el fuego, 2, 3 de la tarde estás comiendo y 5 o 6 de la tarde estás tomando la merienda, tomando un mate y comiendo una tortita, comiendo una factura.
Sí.
Y bueno, y hasta las 7, 8 de la tarde generalmente son los domingos en esta época de invierno y medio escolar. En el verano pues, se puede estirar hasta más tarde.
Claro,
sí,
claro. Y sigue la plática y sigue.
Sí.
Y por ahí está el fútbol tal vez.
Y hay algún partido de fútbol, sí, es como que es un plan de, un plan de 12 horas.
Bellísimo. Lindo. Me gusta mucho esa costumbre, como ese ritual que tiene el argentino, me encanta, porque une más a las personas, ¿no? So we just arrived to this little cabin over here in the mountain. We were lucky. He said like we were very lucky because we have a little bit of sun, so it's not as cold. So maybe we're gonna eat outside, just watching the mountain and having a perfect asado.
Step 1. Start a fire. Javier carefully chooses which pieces of wood to use and builds a little house, as he likes to call it. That house will burn for a bit, then eventually crumble, which is when the parrilla is brought down. The big pieces of wood are removed and the embers are left to provide the heat.
Costillas o asado de tira, morcillas, chorizos, entraña y esto es matambre de cerdo. Matambre de cerdo. Wow. Todo lleva sal, salvo el matambre de cerdo que además de sal lleva pimienta y limón.
Pues estos son los imperdibles, ¿no? Lo que tiene que llevar un asado.
Costilla para mí no puede faltar nunca, entraña tampoco. Chorizo es como un clásico que debe estar siempre. Y la morcilla es bastante particular. Sí. Hay gente que le gusta mucho, hay gente que no le gusta. Sí. Yo siempre pongo.
Okay.
And while the meat is cooking, we're going to start off with some picadas, some little bites, vino, and take it slow, take it easy. It's kind of like in the United States with our Thanksgivings. It's an all-day affair, right? And this happens in Argentina every Sunday.
Esta es la buena vida.
Good, I said. Got the camera.
She's like that all the time. She's like that. I'm in pain.
Stop.
We've been here more than an hour and I cannot get over that view. It's beautiful, beautiful. Oh, random fact. Over here, it was recorded a little bit of the movie 7 Years in the Tibet. I don't know if it's the right translation, but with Brad Pitt. They're supposed to be in the Himalayas, but they were over here.
Let us know down below in the comments if you've seen it.
Yes.
Alright, now in order for me to really feel like an Argentinian, I need to take part in flipping the meat, of course.
Juliana la parrillera.
Tu turno, Martín.
Se ve riquísima. ¿Y qué significa el asado para el argentino?
Prácticamente la vida. Está la familia, los amigos y el asado. O sea,
y el fútbol.
Sí, y el fútbol, sí, pero el asado es como que...
Tiene que estar.
El asado es todo, el domingo de familia es asado, el viernes con amigos es asado. El argentino se caracteriza por juntarse siempre con los amigos y generalmente es asado.
Okay, I hope you guys can hear it sizzling. It's so good. It is full of flavor. It is so juicy. I love it. I love it. I will never get tired of the meat here. It's incredible, the taste of the smoke. It is so smoky tasting and so perfectly salted. Every Argentinian knows how to cook meat. It's incredible. We haven't had a single piece of bad meat here. And like, it's been some of the best meat I've ever had. I will never be able to look at a steakhouse that serves like $100 filet mignon the same in the US ever again. And they make it look easy. It's artistry. It's incredible. Right? And you agree. Pace yourself, mi amor, because I think we're gonna be, it's like we're in a buffet. There's just an endless supply of meat coming our way.
This is entrañas. That is not the same as in Mexico, we call entrañas. This is a part, he was explaining us, underneath the ribs, in the inside.
One of the most expensive cuts of meat too.
That's right.
Last to cook also.
Last to cook, it was very easy to cook. You can see, it's thin. This is the only one that I knew. I feel like I'm in Puma Stadium.
You know, I am a girl of habit. I am always, as you guys have seen on this trip, ordering lomo everywhere we go because it's what I'm comfortable with. And so to have someone cook for us where we're kind of being forced to try a bunch of different things, it's like a charcuterie of a bunch of different meats. I'm surprised at what I found to be my favorite. It's called mata hambre de cerdo. Mata hambre literally means to kill hunger, and it is surely doing that. This is pork. It's a very specific part of the pork, part of the pig. It's on the outside of the ribs, and it is so perfectly cooked. They just nail this art of having the perfect crust on all of their meat. Something that I feel like in the US we do not appreciate enough, and we do not find enough unless you're at a very high-end steakhouse. It's so perfectly crispy on the outside and so juicy on the inside. Good thing we have another week. We're actually going back to Buenos Aires after this because you guys are going to see in the next episode what we're doing. And now I want to go to the steakhouses and order some of these things we're trying here. It's fantastic.
We have dessert and we have some room for it. Juliana always has room for it. This is membrillo, how they call it, and cheese. And I'm very curious. I've seen these in a couple of menus, but I've never tried. So I'm very curious. The membrillo is very sweet with the flavor of the cheese that combines. Oh wow. After you eat it, it's when it tastes the better. Like whenever you're eating it, and then after, it's whenever it hits both flavors at the same time. It's good. I like it.
I'm cracking up because Martin said, he said to me off camera, he said, "You're gonna taste the afterbirth after." I'm so glad I showed you The Office, mi amor. Thank God you know that phrase. God, that is, it works. It's so simple, but it works. It's not at all how you'd think it would taste.
But it's right that it has an afterbirth.
It has an afterbirth, you know? This is one of the few times I can say that.
Javier just told us like his mom made this one. So that's very special.
Yeah, I could taste the love.
That's right.
After wrapping up our meal, we rolled ourselves back to the car where Javier drove us all the way to the airport. And by the way, if you want to experience this tour for yourself, don't worry, we've got you covered. Check out the link in the description of this video to book.
Oh my god. This was one of those days that makes you so grateful for the life that we live, honestly. Like, this tour reminded me of why I fell in love with travel, because it's like these experiences where I never met this guy before. I may never see him again, but today we had an asado and it was perfect.
I think today, Juliana, we were like 3 friends just having an asado in the middle of the mountains with the perfect climate and the perfect food.
It's so funny because in a world where we're all so divided, it's easy to forget that we all have so much in common, and like it doesn't matter that we grew up on completely different sides of the equator. Like we had so much in common today, and this was such a beautiful experience. Probably one of the highlights of our time in Argentina.
I want you to put in the comments like the trip or the tour that really changed you as a traveler.
Honestly.
Because I think we were talking about a couple of experiences, but this one is one of them.
Exactly. And right now, as you guys can see, we're in the airport. We're heading back to Buenos Aires because we have more adventures up our sleeves. In fact, we've left a video over to the side for you guys to watch next.
So long.
Travel well.
And make the world your neighborhood.
See you guys next time. Bye.